Welcome to video number 6 in the Workload Profiler for Vetting Model series. Video 6 is all about reports, so we're going to look at providing an overview of the key reports that were used within the Vetting Profiler and talk about how to interpret the outputs from these reports. So I'm going to start off with the vetting model. I've opened reports with the first report being workstream hours. Now it's important to remember that once you've populated your model, it will look a little bit different from this. You'll have a lot more going on. We've kept it nice and blank and simple as a training exercise. So what we have here is the recruitment vetting, or the RV tag for recruitment vetting. For each of these, averages 5.9 hours per year per incident, or per instance of demand. That totals to 5,105 hours worth of work. For management vetting, so MV, similar length, but because there's far fewer of them, 1,690 annual hours. So what you see as this builds up, you'll be able to see a graph that shows you a bar chart for each of the different types of vetting, each of the different work streams, the relative size of these, and it will be in descending order, so the biggest one to the left followed by the smallest to the right. So we've got the average hours per occurrence and the annual hours shown here. In terms of the work stream by resource, in this model we see the work streams broken down by resource type. So RV having an element of managers, analysts and caseworker work content in there. Understand that the total is 5,105 hours and an associated cost of around £80,000, requiring 3.6 people to do this. So we've got a sum for both the RV and MV to give us our total hours, and that can then be and a calculated FTE. So what we're seeing here is an FTE of 1.7 managers required based on the fictitious example we have here. How does that compare with our current FTE? Well, we currently have one person, so based on these figures we'd say we're minus 0.7 away from what we need to be, or a utilization rate of 1.66. So that's saying that we've got a shortfall in resource of about just over half a person, which is obviously would then be a concern as that comes out. So we'd build the model up with proper data that makes sense, but being able to understand how that all comes out. So first of all, you've got each work stream and the hours for each of the roles that you've got there. Now what you might notice is there's manager, analyst, caseworker. What about the administrator, etc.? These will show up if they've been populated earlier. If there's nothing against them, then they won't show up there. Workstream content by resource, so we can start to see how that breaks down in terms of, it's very similar to the chart we saw in the previous graph, but at this point we can see who the time is being allocated against. Work content, so activity by resource, we have understanding of what activity types people are spending their time on. So quite interesting, the analyst is spending a lot of time there doing research. So that research is costing the best part of £50,000, and the total cost of around 107,000. So actually, the research the research done by the analyst is costing about half of the overall cost in terms of how that goes. So research being a key proponent of what's going on there, so being able to understand how that might change in different scenarios. Activity by work stream, that shows how many people's worth of time is being spent on each. So the work content across the different grades and the work streams. The work by activity type shows for each work stream what are the annual hours that are being spent on each of the different task types. So here we've got the administrator, admin, decision, receipt, research. So the tasks that were in the configuration activity types, we're able to see those activity tags in the report here. In the report, being able to see how they're being split out, how many hours are being associated with each of them. The task Pareto, so Pareto showing here that we've got for the RV, so for a particular work stream we're able to see where's the time being spent? So the caseworker in the recruitment vetting is spending 6 minutes on the correcting and returning the form, 5 minutes on the creation, 3 minutes on the scan, 2 minutes on the receive. So you can see the Pareto, or the descending order of the tasks that are in there. Now, that can be useful if we've got a lot going on and you want to understand why specific resources are taking considerable time. Going to skip over the delivery reports, because we've not assigned any delivery profiles either for the resources or for the work streams, but that functionality does exist. One of the things that people do like is the ability to drill through a process map. So for recruitment vetting, we've got 5 different areas that can be used. And you can see these swim lanes that we have. So for management vetting, analyst, manager and caseworker. In the priority-based budgeting, the final report here, where we've been able to put priorities against the different work streams, we're able to see what they would look like sorted in different orders. So that can be useful when we start to thinking about prioritization, especially when resources are tight or needing to make cuts, understanding what's the priorities. So in this case, we've said management vetting is more important than recruitment vetting. That might or might not be the case, but in this case, we can say, okay, well, the first £26,000 of our budget needs to be spent on the management vetting, and then the next 80,000 would do the recruitment vetting. If, for example, we only had a budget of £100,000, we wouldn't be able to do a proportion of the recruitment vetting. So actually understanding how that all fits together can be really important. So if you do need any further support for the either in reporting or anything else within the workload profiler for vetting model, processevolution.co.uk, into the support section, and that will give you the ability to create a ticket for our help desk, how to open a new ticket, fill in your details, create a ticket. That will send a request to the team who'll be in touch to help you out, so that you can get back up and running with the vetting model. Thank you very much.